The housing market right now is slow, and that's both the pace of home sales, but also the pace of construction certainly has slowed over the last couple of months.
It's finally happening. The California housing market is cracking wide open. In the Bay Area, homes that were worth millions just months ago are now collecting dust. The calls stopped coming, the open houses are empty, and the same agents who bragged about record offers are now whispering the truth. Nobody's buying. Sellers are slashing prices, banks are getting nervous, and the mood has flipped overnight. People who thought they'd retire rich off their property are realizing they might not even break even. In San Francisco, listings are sitting for 90 days or more. In San Jose, some sellers are cutting $500,000 just to get attention. It's not just numbers on a chart, it's real panic. You can hear it in every conversation between homeowners and realtors. Should we sell now? Should we wait? What if it gets worse? And that's the thing, it is getting worse. Interest rates keep climbing, tech layoffs are stacking up, and investor money has completely dried out. California's real estate bubble didn't just deflate, it popped. The governor's office can call it a market correction all they want, but everyone living it knows better. The confidence is gone. The dream is gone. This is where the free fall begins. The crash didn't come out of nowhere. It's been building for months, piece by piece, decision by decision. First, interest rates shot up, killing off buyer demand overnight. Then came the wave of tech layoffs, tens of thousands of jobs gone from companies that built this region's wealth. When the paychecks stopped, so did the offers. Investors started pulling their money out of the Bay Area fast. The same people who used to flip million-dollar homes for fun are now dumping their properties at a loss just to get out. Developers froze projects mid-build, waiting to see how bad it would get. Banks tightened credit, construction stalled, and one by one, deals started collapsing. That's how it happens. One missed payment leads to another, one failed sale triggers the next. The realtors feel it first, the calls stop, then the listings vanish. Mortgage brokers go quiet. And then the homeowners start realizing their property isn't worth what it was last year, or even last month. By summer, it wasn't just one city. It was spreading: San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, even Sacramento. Prices were falling like dominoes. Every time the news tried to calm people down, another major company announced layoffs. Every time the governor promised stability, another neighborhood went underwater. The truth is, it's all connected. When tech slows, housing collapses. When housing collapses, the whole state shakes. And right now, the tremors are just beginning. Drive through parts of the Bay Area right now, and it doesn't look like California anymore. It looks empty. New homes that were supposed to be sold months ago are sitting untouched. You see for sale signs covered in dust, lawns overgrown, and entire streets where half the houses are dark at night. In San Jose, developers who once bragged about luxury communities are walking away mid-project. Skeletons of half-finished homes line the hills, construction gear still there, but no workers in sight. The money dried up. Financing collapsed. Nobody wants to be the one caught holding the bag. Even in San Francisco, high-rise towers are sitting half-empty. The investors who once begged to buy into these properties now won't return phone calls. Realtors call them zombie listings. Homes that won't sell but can't be abandoned either. Local businesses are feeling it too. Cafes and hardware stores built around those new neighborhoods are shutting down because there's nobody to serve. These were supposed to be booming, walkable communities, the kind politicians used as proof that California was thriving. Now they're proof that the boom is over. And the eerie part? It all feels familiar, just like 2008, except this time the warning signs were bigger, louder, and ignored by everyone in charge. The Bay Area isn't just losing money. It's losing life. It didn't take long for the blame to find its way to the top. Governor Gavin Newsom built his image around fixing California's housing crisis, streamlining permits, building more homes, and making it affordable for everyone. But now, with the Bay Area collapsing, people are asking what went wrong. At first, his office downplayed it. Market adjustments, they said. Temporary slowdowns. But nobody's buying that anymore. When families are losing their homes and developers are going bankrupt, Temporary starts to sound like denial. Critics from both sides are tearing into him. The right says he over-regulated builders and scared off investment. The left says he protected corporations while regular people got priced out. Even his allies are starting to distance themselves, saying privately that the governor ignored the red flags. Local mayors are frustrated too, begging the state for relief, while Newsom's team keeps repeating the same line: "We're monitoring the situation." That's not what people want to hear when their mortgages are underwater. Behind the scenes, it's chaos. Reports of emergency meetings with real estate groups, banks, and city officials are leaking daily. But every new statement sounds less confident than the last. For years, Newsom talked about California as the future of housing innovation. Now, that future looks like boarded-up condos, empty developments, and angry homeowners demanding answers. And for the first time in his political career, Gavin Newsom looks rattled. This is where the numbers start turning into faces. Behind every collapsing graph, there's a family packing boxes. A homeowner staring at a for sale sign that never came down. In the Bay Area, middle-class families who stretched every dollar just to buy are now trapped. Their homes are worth less than their mortgages, and selling means losing everything. People who once bragged about buying in the best zip code in California are now calling banks, begging to renegotiate. Couples who bought starter homes in 2021 are realizing they bought at the top. And renters? They're not celebrating either. With landlords desperate to cover losses, rents are skyrocketing again, even as property values fall. You can see the tension building, moving trucks lined up in once stable neighborhoods, families heading out of state for cheaper lives. Kids switching schools, parents canceling vacations, retirees watching their equity disappear. It's not just money, it's identity. For years, owning in California was a badge of success. Now it's a weight dragging people down. And the state's safety net isn't catching them. Homelessness is rising, shelters are overflowing, and social workers can't keep up. The California dream is turning into a California exit. In the end, it's not just about housing. It's about trust. People realizing that the system built to protect them was really built to profit from them. And when that trust breaks, no recovery plan can fix it. It's happening again, the California exodus. Except this time, it's not just tech workers cashing out of overpriced homes. It's teachers, nurses, young families, people who used to be the backbone of the state. You can trace it on the highways. U-Hauls streaming out of the Bay Area, packed with furniture, pets, and the last bit of hope people have left. Ask them why they're leaving, and the answers all sound the same: we can't afford to stay. We don't feel safe. It's not the same California anymore. Texas, Nevada, Arizona, they're all seeing it. People who once swore they'd never leave the coast are buying homes out of state for half the price and double the space. Some of them stream their move online. A final goodbye to a dream that outgrew them. But it's not just individuals leaving. Businesses are following. Restaurants that used to serve packed lunch crowds now have empty tables. Startups are moving headquarters to Austin or Miami. Even construction companies are shifting crews out of state, chasing affordable projects and lower taxes. The result? A cycle that feeds itself. As people leave, local demand drops. As demand drops, values sink further. And every departure becomes another warning sign for those still hanging on. California's been through downturns before, but this one feels different. It's quieter, slower, like a slow leak that no one knows how to stop. It's not a housing correction anymore. It's a migration, and the Golden State is bleeding talent, wealth, and faith. While everyday Californians are packing up and leaving, Wall Street is quietly moving in. Behind the scenes, massive investment firms are buying up foreclosed homes in bulk, sometimes entire neighborhoods at once. The same streets where families lost everything are now being turned into corporate rental empires. These companies don't care about community. They care about margins. They buy cheap, slap on a coat of paint, and rent the homes back to the same people who used to own them, at twice the price. It's legal, it's efficient, and it's ruthless. BlackRock, Invitation Homes, and other private equity players have been watching California like hawks. The moment housing values dipped, they pounced. While local buyers struggle with loans and rising rates, these corporations buy with cash. No hesitation. No empathy. Developers are playing along too. Some who couldn't sell their luxury builds are now converting them into investment units, pre-sold to hedge funds that see this collapse as an opportunity. It's not a housing crash to them, it's a clearance sale. And that's the twist. While headlines talk about pain and loss, someone else is celebrating in a boardroom. Every failed mortgage is a future profit. Every eviction is a potential lease. It's the kind of shift that changes who owns California, literally. From families and local buyers to global funds that have never set foot in the neighborhoods they control. And once that transformation starts, it's almost impossible to reverse. By the time the numbers hit rock bottom, the panic had already reached the capital. Inside Sacramento, the phones wouldn't stop ringing, mayors demanding aid, homeowners demanding answers, and reporters circling like vultures. Every press briefing felt like damage control, not leadership. Governor Newsom tried to project confidence, but his voice was shaking. Behind the scenes, staffers were leaking stories of infighting, advisors arguing over who to blame, agencies contradicting each other, and housing officials quietly admitting they'd lost control of the narrative. The political spin was relentless. One day it was market fluctuation, the next it was global economic pressure. But Californians weren't buying it anymore. They were watching their neighbors move out, their savings evaporate, and their governor dodge questions on live TV. Protests started popping up outside city halls. People carried signs reading, "We believed you," and "Where's the dream now?" In San Francisco, a viral clip showed a man yelling, "You saved the billionaires, not us." And that one line summed up the public mood better than any poll could. Even members of Newsom's own party began turning on him, hinting at leadership fatigue. The governor, once seen as the future of national politics, now looked cornered, defensive, and out of touch. By fall, every new appearance felt like an apology tour. Every word sounded rehearsed. And the harder he tried to control the story, the more it slipped away. California's housing crisis wasn't just economic anymore, it was political. And it was burning right through the governor's legacy. Once the cracks in California's housing market became too big to hide, the media pounced. Every outlet, from local news to national networks, ran their own version of the same headline: California Dream Turns Nightmare. News clips showed drone shots of half-empty subdivisions, closed construction sites, and families loading moving vans under gray skies. TikTok filled up with short videos of people showing off their California escape plans, listing how much cheaper life was in Texas or Florida. On YouTube, real estate vloggers turned analysts, breaking down every crash stat in real time. Every graph, every foreclosure notice, every price cut became content, and every viral clip made the panic spread faster. But it wasn't just the media stirring things up. Regular people started speaking out too. Reddit threads filled with homeowners blaming politicians. Former residents posted emotional goodbye videos. And live streamers took viewers through ghostly downtowns that used to be alive. The governor's office tried to counter it, launching press conferences, fact sheets, even a housing stability campaign, but it backfired. The public didn't want reassurance, they wanted accountability. And every time Newsom or his team went live, the comments filled with anger. People weren't just scared anymore, they were furious. The story had grown too big to contain. This wasn't just about falling prices, it was about a collapsing promise. The California dream had become clickbait, and the whole world was watching it unravel in real time. When the dust finally settled, California didn't look like the same place anymore. The glittering skyline of San Francisco now casts shadows over streets filled with "for sale" and "for lease" signs. Downtown Los Angeles, once the symbol of endless ambition, is dotted with shuttered projects and empty offices. The boom is over. What's left is the bill. Experts call it a correction. Locals call it a collapse. Either way, the dream that once defined the West Coast has hit a wall, and rebuilding it won't be easy. Developers are slashing prices just to stay afloat. Banks are tightening credit. Homeowners who thought they'd made it are realizing they're back at square one. Meanwhile, the governor's approval ratings are sinking fast, and lawmakers are scrambling to rebrand crisis as transition. But beneath the headlines, something deeper is shifting: trust. People are questioning whether California is still the land of opportunity or just a warning sign for the rest of the country. And while some predict a rebound, others say the damage is permanent. The state that once defined innovation and wealth creation is now fighting to keep people from leaving. The same neighborhoods that were symbols of success are turning into cautionary tales. Still, there's one thing California's always had: resilience. The same spirit that built Silicon Valley, survived wildfires, and rebuilt after earthquakes might do it again. But this time, it won't come from politicians or billion-dollar companies. It'll come from the people who refuse to give up on the place they call home. Because no matter how far it falls, California has a way of rewriting its story, one comeback at a time.